didn't do that. Personally, as the leader of the People's Party of Canada, because I had that question from a journalist. Bernier, do you have the vaccine? Will you take the vaccine? And my first answer was that, no, it's private. But no, because all the other establishment politicians decided to show them on TV taking the shot. I said, no, I'm not doing that, so I'll be public about that. And I said, no, I won't take the vaccine. And I said no for 3 reasons. First of all, you know that younger people under 30 years old have more chances of dying from the seasonal flu than from COVID-19. And I look at the data. I'm a man, 58 years old, and now after a year and more of COVID hysteria, we have all that data, Statistic Canada. I went to the Statistic Canada website. I look, I said, okay, maybe it would be very dangerous for me if I don't take the vaccine because maybe I can die. So I look at the data, and for a man 58 years old, my chances of dying if I have COVID without the vaccine are 0.5%. So my chances of surviving if I have COVID, it's 99.5%. So that's why I decided not to take the vaccine. You know?
Chances are higher to get sick from the vaccine.
Yeah, and I decided, but when I said that, the mainstream media were telling me that I was irresponsible and I was selfish because of that decision. No, we believe in freedom of choice. Every Canadian must be free to decide. And so, what we have right now, it's a totalitarian government that are telling us what to do. Now Trudeau said you won't be able to travel, and you know, I don't like big government right now. So when you have a big government, you have a lot of civil servants, bureaucrats. But now I will speak for them. Trudeau said that every civil servant, every bureaucrat must have the vaccine if they want to work. And if they don't do that, he said, they will have very important consequences. No, Mr. Trudeau. Every civil servant must have the choice to decide if they want the vaccine or not.
It starts with the civil servants and then it starts going through. It's slippery slope.
Yeah, so when you started that, could be the civil servant, and after that, Trudeau is asking, you may know somebody that is working with a business or a corporation that is under the jurisdiction of the federal government, like a bank, an insurance company, corporation. So he's asking the private sector to do the same. The private sector must oblige every one of their employees to take the vaccine. So that's a communist country, that's not a free country, and that's why that question will be important for this election. So, what I'm asking you today, I hope that you will support our PPC candidates. Every Canadian will have an opportunity to vote for their values, to vote for the PPC, because we will have a candidate in every riding. But that's important also. You know, I will do my best. And I believe in all that COVID hysteria.
You should get attention.
Yeah, and I will get attention. And you know what? The mainstream media will be there also. And they will have to cover us.
Yeah.
So we'll have an opportunity to speak to Canadians that don't know that we exist. That's our biggest challenge. A lot of Canadians don't know the PPC. So what I'm asking you, I will campaign all across the country until the end of the election. By the way, I started that campaign a long time ago. But now I will campaign in every province. But I need you. The People's Party of Canada, we, at the last election, we had 300,000 people that voted for the PPC. But if if you are speaking with 10 more people, 10 more voters, each of you, we will be able to have 3 million votes. And if we have 3 million votes, we'll be around 16% in the polls. So that's important. This campaign is important.
We're going to do better than that.
We need to grow, we need to grow, we need you. So I need your vote, your support, and I believe that Canadians need our voice, the freedom voice in Ottawa. And I can tell you that some of our candidates will be elected. Yes, maybe we won't be the official opposition. I don't know what can happen. But I can tell you that we'll have PPC candidates elected, and you will have a freedom voice in Ottawa, and we will challenge the mainstream media. We will challenge the official opposition or the NDP, the Liberals, and the Conservatives, everybody, because they don't believe in us. They believe in a big fat government that knows better than you. We at the PPC believe in you. We have faith that you have the ability, the dignity, and the right to make your own decisions and determine your own destiny. We don't want a big government, a liberal government, or a conservative government, or any government to tell you what to do. And that's why when I'm saying our freedoms are under attack, it is a reality, and more people are realizing that, and it's very good for us at the PPC because we are the only choice. The other options suck, and you have only one choice, it's voting for your values. So I hope you will support our candidates. That's the beginning of an ideological revolution, a common sense revolution. And you know what I'm speaking about. I'm in Ontario. You had that common sense revolution long time ago, and that was successful. Now we need another one all across the country. And I can tell you that it's going well, because in Nova Scotia, they had a provincial election over there, and one lady, sometimes you need one lady with balls, sorry, but she has balls, and she said she wanted to run for the provincial Conservative Party over there. She's against lockdowns, vaccine passport, and they said, no, I don't want you. So she decided to run as an independent at the last election in Nova Scotia. And she was elected with 52% of the vote as an independent. In Atlantic Canada and Quebec, they had the worst lockdown, and in Ontario also. But people understand that that's not a free society. I was in Alberta, like you know, to do my rallies, and I said, because I've been told that I didn't have the right to travel in Alberta, that if I want to go there, I will have to quarantine for 15 days. But I'm campaigning. I cannot do that, and it's my constitutional right to travel across this country. So I did it, I was there, but now what happened? Political repression. They wanted to stop me, and the only way that they were able to stop me is by putting me in jail. They didn't want me to have my rallies over there in Winnipeg. So that's political repression. That's like in Russia or in China, you put in jail your opponent. That's happening in 2001 here in Canada. But when I was arrested and cuffed, I said to the police when he asked me, do you have any weapons on you? Do you have anything that can hurt me? I said, weapons? No. Only my words, only my philosophy. So what I'm doing, my commitment to you, I will use my weapons, I will use my words all across this country to speak about our freedoms in our society and to defend our freedom. But I need you. I need you to do the same. I need you to use your words, your weapons like me, and if you do that, we will win that battle of ideas, because we have the truth on our side, we have now the science on our side, because we have all the data about COVID, and we know that COVID-19 is not dangerous for kids, for people under 18 years old. Now they want to force kids with a vaccine and 1 shot and 2 shots. They must be free. Parents must be able to decide if their kids will have the shot or not. But no, if you want to go to university right now this fall, they are asking the students over there to be vaccinated. That must be their choice. And that's going everywhere. University, businesses. We don't want that, and we need to send a strong signal to these tyrannical politicians that enough is enough.
Yes.
And I believe it will come the 28th of September. Are you in that with me? Are you ready to fight? I believe that when tyranny becomes the law, revolution becomes our duty. It is our duty. We need to have the courage of our conviction. And I know you have the courage of your conviction because you are here today. But we need to show to the silent majority that are looking at us and they understand that something is wrong in the society, but they don't have the courage to speak. We need to go see them and telling them, it's okay, you can speak, you will keep your job, be part of the challenge, be part of the change with us. We need to bring back our country. And I can tell you that they will come step by step. They're saying in the poll right now that we may be at 5, 6, 7%. I don't believe that. I believe that we are way more up than that. I believe that, we can have a lot of seats at this election. And Trudeau did a big mistake because when he launched the election, he said, I'm doing that because I believe that I will have a majority and I maybe can have a majority. And he said the most important question right now for this election is COVID-19. We need to protect Canadians, and that's why we will ask for mandatory vaccine passport. So he said that question of vaccine passport must be the ballot question, and yes, it will. It will, and a lot of people, before going to vote, they will think, do they like the question that you must ask yourself? Do you like the country that you're living in right now? Do you recognize our country? No. We have people coming from former communist country that are with us, and they are telling me, Maxime, we saw that. We saw that in Russia. We saw that in other countries, and we don't want that. They try to divide us by people vaccinated, people not vaccinated, and they're playing identity politics and racial politics. That's not our country. That's why I said 3 years ago, for me, there's no political correctness. We must tell the truth based on facts, and like that, because we have the best ideas, our ideas will win. And they will win because you're going to be there and because our Canadians, fellow citizens, they will come with us. And I'll be on the stage and I'll have fun at that debate. And on every important subject, you'll have the voice of the people, the common sense voice. And yes, I will answer the question, and it won't take you 3 seconds to understand what I'm saying, because usually when you listen to a politician answering a question, at the end you said, what was the answer? A yes or a no? For me, it would be straight. Straight. I said we did our first promise yesterday during the campaign. I said, I won't give you any money. We are broke. So if you count on the BBC to give you money and give and to buy your votes, we don't play that game. But Trudeau and the other one play that game.
Give people freedom so they can survive financially.
Yes. Freedom financially, that means that we must balance the budget in 4 years, cut the CBC, cut the mainstream media, cut the UN, cut foreign aid.
Small businesses.
Cut corporate welfare, corporate welfare because it's not fair. You know, these big businesses, they receive like GM and Bombardier, they will have big grants and subsidies, but you, a small business here, they won't have any subsidies, but they're paying taxes. So the federal government is saying, okay, pay your taxes, and they are forced to give that to GM and Bombardier. That will end that. No more corporate welfare. We can save $5 billion there, and we'll do it. But we must admit that we are broke. That's why I cannot give you the money that we don't have. And now we are paying right now for these huge deficit with the new tax, the new Trudeau's inflation tax. If you do your grocery right now, you'll see there's inflation, 4 or 5%, maybe 6. That's a tax. Because instead of taxing you and taking your money from your own pockets and you have to give that to the government, the Trudeau government is telling you can keep your money, but you won't be able to buy the same amount of goods and services with your money. Your purchasing power is going down with inflation. Every day the price of everything is going up. Everybody is poor. So that's a tax. That's a hidden tax. That's the worst of all taxes. And we are paying that right now. And we will pay that inflation tax for the next couple of years. We don't want that. We want to be sure that you keep your purchasing power. When you own $1, that dollar must have the same value in 6 months, and not right now. Your dollar is losing its purchasing power. Everything is going up. It's because of Trudeau. And who told? He is as stupid as Trudeau. He said
the budget would balance itself.
Yeah, Trudeau said that, but O'Toole said, you know, I'm asking you to have a mandate of 4 years, but I will balance the budget in 10 years. So he's saying that he won't balance the budget like Trudeau, like the NDP, like everybody, and he will spend more and more and more. Look at what he's doing during this campaign. He's traveling across the country and he promised a lot of money to a lot of industry and special interest groups. We don't have that. So let's have the common sense. Let's be fiscally responsible and tell the truth to Canadians. I'll tell you an anecdote. At the last debate, I was on the stage in the election of 2019, and I had a question in French from a lady. She was around maybe 65, 70 years old. And you know, at the end of the debate, they asked Canadians to ask questions to politicians. And I was the last one to answer that question. And the question was, what you will do for my pension? All the other politicians said that he would give her more money for her pension. And I was the last one, and I said, all in French, nothing special. I won't give you money that we don't have. I won't increase your pension. It's too bad, but this budget in this country is broke, so I cannot do that. You need to tell the truth to people.
That's right.
I want people that will vote for the DPC for the right reason. If you don't like what I'm saying, please don't support us. Don't vote for us. If you like what I'm saying, I hope you support us. I hope you're going to speak with your friends and family for having more people that will support us. They're doing pandering. We call that pandering. They pander to you, but that they are telling you what you want to hear with money that we don't have. And when there'll be government, they will do the opposite. So Canadians, don't trust establishment politicians, and I'm very tired of that political correctness politics. We need to stop that. Now we are doing racial politics. Do you know what it is? Racial politics. I didn't know that before. No, I'm a politician. I'm speaking about policies, and yes, politics, but racial politics, it's new. Racial politics, I'll give you an example. The Trudeau government decided to have a new program for entrepreneurs. More money. They wanted to give, and they're doing that right now, more money to entrepreneurs. But that program is only for black entrepreneurs. Only for black entrepreneurs. So if you're a white entrepreneur, You cannot have that money. That's discrimination. For us, everybody is equal before the law, and we won't do that. We will support, if we want to have a program for entrepreneurs, we will support all entrepreneurs. It's like Black Lives Matter. Yes and no. All lives matter. We don't do that racial politics. And I'm very proud of our candidates, and they're coming from different backgrounds, different faith, different ethnicity. But I want to tell you another anecdote. At the first election, we received a call from a journalist from CBC. And she said, I'm asking the same questions to every political party. And I want you to ask, you're the last one, so how many candidates, how many black candidates do you have? How many gay candidates do you have? How many LGBT, candidates do you have? And we said we don't know. She called back 2 days later and she said, I have all the answers from all the other political parties, and I will write my paper tomorrow. So I'll give you another chance to answer these questions to be in my paper. And we said we don't know. And she said why? And we said because we don't care. We don't care. It's not important. So like Martin Luther King Jr. said, I want my kids to be judged by their character, not by the color of their skin. Now in Canada, they're doing that, racial politics. They try to put us in a little box. You are white? Oh my God, you have privileges. Then you must not be proud to be Canadian. But sorry about that. I'm proud to be a Canadian, and I was celebrating, and I will always celebrate Canada Day. But what is sad about that, I was the only leader for a national political party to celebrate Canada Day this year, because we're supposed to be not proud to be Canadians. Sorry about that. I'm proud of our history, I'm proud of our culture, of our heritage, and I will always celebrate Canada. And there's no systemic racism in Canada. Yeah, maybe some Canadians, like in other countries, can be racist, and it's too bad. But there's no systemic racism in Canada. We must be proud to be Canadians. So this election would be an important one for the future of our country. We want to live in a democracy, like everybody would be able to do what they want to do. But right now it is not the case. You have a clear choice, Us, PBC, against lockdown, curfew, COVID-19 passport, and all the other one that think that COVID is the biggest virus and a very dangerous virus. It is only dangerous for older people with comorbidities. And we know that we need to protect them. We need to protect them. Yes, when you're sick, you stay at home. They have to stay at home, and we need to reopen the economy. Now the economy is reopened, but this fall, there's supposed to be a fourth wave. But in Quebec last year, they said that there's no flu this year, only COVID-19. I don't know, but that was the first year in the history when we didn't have any flu. So I don't know what will happen this fall. Maybe we'll have only COVID, the fifth and the sixth wave, or I don't know. Let's put that aside, that COVID-19 is safe. Let's put that aside and being firm at this election. I hope you support us. I hope you're going to vote for the common sense. I hope you're going to vote for the freedom revolution, and I count on you. So let's work together. And I want just to end and having a discussion with you, and I'll take some of your questions, but to end with a quote from John F. Kennedy that I really like. And he said that in 1961, when he was elected the President of the United States, at his inaugural speech. And he said, and that quote is very actual. And you know, you listen that quote and it's like Canada today. He said, in the long history of the world, only few generations have been granted the role of defending freedom in its maximum hour of danger. You are that generation. This is your role. And now is the time we must defend freedom from these authoritarian governments that are taking it away from us.
Yeah.
So, who's going to start the first question?